I am that old. Sister Wives star opens up about off-putting new health diagnosis. Hello friends, I am Elena. Welcome to my channel. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. I never thought I'd say this on camera, but here it is. I am that old. And for the first time in my life, I actually feel it. Not emotionally, not spiritually, but physically. This week, I got a diagnosis that hit harder than I expected. I always thought health issues were something you just dealt with as they came. But this one, it shook me. I was sitting in the doctor's office, just expecting a basic follow-up. I've had my fair share of blood tests and checkups over the years. But this time, my doctor looked me straight in the eye and said, "You're officially dealing with the early stages of osteopenia." My first reaction? Confusion. Then embarrassment. Then reality. Osteopenia. It's not quite osteoporosis, but it's the precursor. It means my bones are thinning. I sat there and blinked for what felt like an hour. I didn't know what to say. I've spent most of my adult life raising kids, managing relationships, and putting myself last. I figured if I could still walk, cook dinner, and film for the show, then I was healthy. But the truth is, the inside of my body is starting to show signs of wear and tear, and that's terrifying. I didn't even know this diagnosis was a possibility for me. I've never thought of myself as old. In fact, when I hear other people talk about aging, I always say, "Oh, please, we're just getting started." But when your bones start weakening and the doctor starts talking about calcium supplements and weight-bearing exercises like you're fragile, that hits different. I walked out of that office and sat in my car for 30 minutes just thinking. Not crying. Not even mad. Just staring. I thought about my kids. I thought about the grandkids. I thought about the fact that I still want to travel, hike, garden, do everything I've always done. And for the first time I wondered, what if I can't? Part of me wanted to keep this quiet. After all, there's so many people out there with far worse health problems. But something inside me said, no, you need to talk about this. 'Cause there's a whole generation of women who feel like I do. Who still feel young at heart but get slammed by the reality of aging when their bodies start betraying them. I see them every time I go out in public. Women in their 50s, 60s, even 40s, carrying the weight of their families, their lives, their choices. And often silently carrying their health problems too. So here I am saying it out loud. Yes, I have osteopenia. Yes, I am technically that old. And no, I'm not going to let it stop me. But I will say this, it's humbling. It made me take a long, hard look at the way I've treated my body over the years. The stress. The sleepless nights. The emotional roller coasters. The lack of self-care. It all adds up. And now I'm paying the price. I've started making changes. First, I'm taking the supplements my doctor recommended. Calcium, vitamin D, magnesium. Not glamorous, but necessary. Second, I'm walking more. Not just for my heart, but for my bones. And third, I'm finally prioritizing strength training. Not to lose weight. Not to look good. But because I want to be able to lift my grandkids without pain. I want to keep dancing in my kitchen. I want to feel strong inside and out. I've also started being more honest with my kids. For so long, I kept a brave face. I didn't want them to see me as fragile. But now I realize they need to know the truth. They need to see that taking care of yourself isn't weakness, it's strength. And that it's okay to admit when you're scared. I had a talk with one of them the other day and I said, "I know you think of me as the strong one, the one who holds everything together. But even I have limits. And that's okay. What matters is that we support each other through those moments." And you know what? That conversation brought us closer. It's amazing what honesty can do. As for the show, I've decided not to hide this part of my life from the cameras. If anything, I think it's important to show that aging is real. Health changes are real. And it doesn't mean you're weak or broken. It just means you're human. I want the audience to see the truth. Not just the glamorous moments, but the hard ones. The doctor visits. Confusion. The fear. The resilience. 'Cause real life doesn't stop just because you're on TV. If anything, it intensifies. I'm also learning that self-worth isn't tied to how youthful you look or how fast you move. It's about how you treat yourself, how you speak to yourself, how you show up even when it's hard. This diagnosis has given me a new kind of clarity. I'm no longer interested in pretending everything is perfect. I'm not interested in pretending I'm 35. I am who I am, and I want to celebrate that. 'Cause with age comes wisdom, and with wisdom comes power. So to anyone out there who's getting similar news from their doctor, I want to say this: you are not alone. You are not broken. You are not invisible. You are evolving. And evolution doesn't mean decline, it means change. And change can be beautiful even when it's uncomfortable. Kody Brown, the polarizing patriarch of the Sister Wives franchise, has officially broken his long Instagram silence, and fans are anything but impressed. After months of radio silence following the most explosive and divisive seasons of the TLC reality show, Kody returned to social media with a post that has ignited outrage among viewers. The announcement? Kody Brown is joining the upcoming season of Special Forces, World's Toughest Test. Controversial father of 18 posted a photo of himself in tactical gear, standing against a desert backdrop captioned, "Time to push myself to the edge. Special Forces, here I come." And just like that, the internet went into meltdown. Many expected Kody's social media return to address the crumbling state of his once unified polygamous family. Fans had long demanded updates on his estranged relationships with Janelle, Mary, and Christine, not to mention Robin, who remains his sole partner. But rather than offer accountability or insight into the familial fractures that played out on national television, Kody opted to spotlight his personal ambition instead. Comments flooded in. One follower wrote, "You abandoned your wives and now you're running off to play soldier? Wow." Another posted, "How about facing your family instead of hiding behind a reality show challenge?" Others accused him of chasing fame rather than repairing the emotional wreckage left in the wake of the show's most traumatic episodes. Kody's move to join Special Forces is not without precedent. The show, which puts celebrities through grueling military-style training, has featured other reality stars trying to shed reputations and prove their toughness. But for many, the timing of Kody's announcement couldn't be worse. Follows a cascade of events that have painted him as an increasingly isolated and divisive figure in his own family. Christine's departure from the plural marriage was a major blow to Kody's image. She was the first to leave, publicly citing emotional neglect and lack of partnership. Her split was followed by Mary's quiet exit and then Janelle's bold departure, which further fractured the Brown family. With each wife that left, public sentiment shifted more harshly against Kody. Kody Brown, the long controversial figure at the center of TLC's Sister Wives, has once again left fans and critics alike baffled. His latest move, joining the cast of the physically grueling and emotionally intense reality series Special Forces, World's Toughest Test, is not just surprising. It's a calculated and desperate attempt to rewrite the legacy he created through over a decade of chaos, failed relationships, and public backlash. The announcement of Kody's casting sent shockwaves through social media, not because viewers missed him, but because they didn't expect him to show up in a completely different genre of reality television. Known more for family breakdowns, power struggles, and polygamy drama, Kody's sudden pivot to military-style endurance TV is a clear departure from his usual image. But the message behind this unexpected move is loud and clear. He wants to control the narrative, and this is how he plans to do it. For years, Kody Brown was the face of Sister Wives, a series that promised a look inside a functioning plural family but delivered instead a slow, painful unraveling of that very concept. Fans watched his relationships with Mary, Janelle, and Christine deteriorate publicly, one wife at a time. His favoritism toward Robin, his refusal to acknowledge his failings as a husband, and his growing detachment from his older children all played out on camera, earning him widespread criticism. Now, after years of being painted as controlling, self-absorbed, and emotionally detached, Kody wants to rebrand himself as a resilient, disciplined, physically and mentally strong man. The Special Forces casting isn't random, it's a public relations strategy. He's entering a show known for breaking down celebrities and revealing their true selves under pressure. By choosing this route, Kody is hoping to gain something he's long been denied: public sympathy and respect. When news broke of his participation, social media erupted. Many questioned how someone who couldn't keep peace in his own household or communicate respectfully with his children suddenly believes he's cut out for elite military-style training. Others mocked the hypocrisy of a man who avoided emotional accountability for years, now volunteering to be shouted at by real Special Forces veterans. It all feels like a stretch and a gimmick. Kody Brown doesn't want to be remembered as the failed polygamist who drove his family apart. He doesn't want his name eternally linked with bitter divorces and televised heartbreaks. He wants a comeback. He wants to be seen as someone who took the hits, reflected, and rose above them, even if it means manufacturing that narrative in front of an entirely new audience. Joining Special Forces gives him something sister wives never did: a clean slate. There are no ex-wives on this show. No kids calling him out. No messy emotional confrontations that leave him speechless or defensive. It's just Kody, the elements, the instructors, and the camera. He controls the image he wants to portray, or at least he thinks he does. For longtime viewers of Sister Wives, this move is more insulting than inspiring. Many believe he's skipping over the hard emotional work of making amends with his family in favor of building a new TV persona. Where was this strength and determination when his relationships were crumbling? Where was this endurance when his wives needed honesty and fairness? Instead of repairing broken trust at home, Kody has chosen to chase a hero edit elsewhere. It's also worth noting that Kody's timing isn't accidental. The Sister Wives franchise is shaky right now. With Christine remarried, Janelle publicly disillusioned, and Mary finally stepping away for good, the show is running out of steam. Kody no longer has the family to support the show's original premise. So what does he do? He pivots. He finds a new platform. One where he doesn't have to answer for the past, just survive the present. The irony is glaring. The man who couldn't handle 4 wives is now trying to convince viewers he can handle Navy SEAL-style training. The man who often blamed others for emotional chaos is now presenting himself as self-disciplined and unbreakable. It's the ultimate rebranding effort, but fans are too savvy to fall for it overnight. Still, Kody's appearance on Special Forces isn't just a media stunt. It's also a last-ditch effort to stay relevant in a media landscape that's increasingly moving on. As more of the Sister Wives cast members find happiness and success outside of Kody's orbit, his role in the narrative is shrinking. This new show is a chance to recenter himself, to become the star of his own story again, without needing anyone else to share the spotlight. But the gamble could backfire. Special Forces doesn't edit around emotional breakdowns or physical failures. Kody struggles or quits early, it may only confirm what fans have long suspected: that his toughness is performative, not real. If he lasts, sure, he might earn some grudging respect. But if he fails dramatically, it could further cement his legacy as someone who talks a big game but can't follow through. Ultimately, Kody Brown's casting on Special Forces is not about adventure or challenge. It's a strategic move to rehabilitate a tarnished image and rewrite a messy legacy. He's not just fighting the elements. He's fighting years of public perception. He's battling the narrative that he was the villain in his own story. Whether he succeeds or fails, one thing is certain: this casting move isn't about transformation. It's about reinvention. Kody Brown may believe that a new stage will bring him redemption, but the shadow of Sister Wives still looms large. No matter how tough he looks in combat boots, the real test of character isn't found in a desert obstacle course. It's in the accountability he still refuses to take. Kody Brown, the controversial patriarch of TLC's Sister Wives, is trading polygamous drama for physical endurance and mental grit in one of the most unexpected reality TV shakeups of the year. Known to millions for his long-standing role as the head of a once sprawling plural family, Kody is now stepping into uncharted territory. Fox's intense competition series Special Forces, World's Toughest Test. The announcement has sent shockwaves through both TLC loyalists and reality TV fans, signaling what many see as a bold last-ditch attempt by Kody to reclaim and redefine his public image. For years, Kody Brown has been viewed through the narrow lens of his role on Sister Wives. His polarizing leadership style, his shifting affections between wives, and his often tone-deaf approach to family conflict have painted a complex, and often negative, portrait of him. Critics have labeled him controlling, egotistical, and emotionally distant. Former wives have departed, some publicly calling out the dysfunction and emotional toll of their plural marriage experience. Even many viewers who once watched out of curiosity now tune in more for the fallout than the family structure itself. Enter Special Forces, World's Toughest Test, a gritty, no-nonsense Fox reality competition that strips away fame, comfort, and pretense. Contestants are put through military-style challenges by real special ops agents. There are no eliminations, the only way out is quitting or failing. Past participants have included athletes, actors, and celebrities eager to show they're more than what the tabloids suggest. Kody Brown, with his reality TV baggage, is joining those ranks. For Kody, this isn't just a challenge, it's a rebrand. After over a decade on TLC, where every move has been scrutinized and every episode dissected, this is his opportunity to show audiences something different. Not the man arguing with his wives about family property. Not the patriarch navigating complex plural relationships. But the man underneath the persona, someone with drive, resilience, and perhaps even humility. The decision to join Special Forces didn't come without backlash. Almost immediately after the casting was confirmed, social media erupted with polarized reactions. Fans of the show questioned Fox's choice to cast someone widely seen as a controversial figure. Detractors labeled it a desperate PR move. Some claimed Kody was chasing relevance after his once bustling family unit crumbled on national television. Still, others were intrigued, not out of support but out of morbid curiosity. Kody's finally getting a taste of what his wives went through, one viewer wrote on Instagram. No power, no control, and nowhere to run. And maybe that's the point. Special Forces offers no editing to protect narratives. Physical tests are brutal. The emotional trials are raw. Everyone is broken down to the core. For Kody, the man often accused of manipulation and pride, this format could either expose him further or give him the redemption arc he so clearly craves. This isn't the first time a controversial figure has used reality TV to try and rehab their image. But few have made a leap this dramatic. For over 14 years, Kody Brown's brand has been Sister Wives. His face, his curls, his voice, they're synonymous with the series. But now, he's willingly leaving that comfort zone, venturing into a world where his name and past mean little against the weight of a rucksack and the roar of a drill sergeant. There's also a psychological layer to consider. Kody has spent years being the authority in his household. That dynamic no longer exists. 3 of his 4 wives have left. His adult children are increasingly vocal about their discontent. Fans have watched his grip on the family loosen, his dominance questioned, and his vulnerability exposed. Could Special Forces be an attempt to reclaim personal strength after years of public unraveling? Certainly a gamble. If he performs well, it might not erase the past, but it could shift public perception. Strength, perseverance, and accountability play well on screen. But if he crumbles under pressure or appears entitled in an environment built on discipline, the backlash will be swift and unforgiving. Even more interesting is what this move says about his future with Sister Wives. TLC has yet to officially confirm the end of the series, but recent seasons have felt more like a postmortem than a reality show. With dwindling family participation and rising criticism, it's unclear whether the show has legs beyond a few more episodes. Kody's new gig could signal a pivot, either away from TLC altogether or into a new chapter that reframes him as a solo brand, not just part of a plural family story. Fans are watching closely. not necessarily out of support but from years of emotional investment in the saga. Watching Kody stripped of his usual environment, without Robin, without cameras focused solely on family drama, is a compelling twist. Will he rise to the occasion, or will the intense conditions expose more cracks in his character? Whatever the outcome, one thing is certain: this move is calculated. It's not just about competition. It's about control over narrative. Kody Brown has spent years being framed by editors, confessionals, and the ever-judging eyes of reality TV audiences. Now he wants to tell a different story, one where he's not the villain but the fighter. Whether that narrative lands depends entirely on how he performs when the cameras roll, not in confessionals but in combat gear, soaked in sweat, shouted at by professionals. For years, the world has watched the lives of the Brown family unfold on national television. From the joys of parenting to the turbulence of plural marriage, Sister Wives has offered viewers a rare look into a non-traditional family structure. But now, one of the show's leading stars is stepping into a new chapter, one filled with personal growth, newfound independence, and for the very first time, a long-overdue experience that has her radiating nothing but joy. After decades spent navigating the complicated dynamics of plural marriage, sharing a husband with multiple other women, and often placing her own needs last, she's finally doing something purely for herself. And while it may seem like a small milestone to some, for her, it's a major turning point, a bold declaration of self-worth and personal rediscovery. The star in question, long celebrated for her patience, grace, and quiet strength, has finally embraced a first-ever experience that's been a lifelong dream. Whether fans anticipated it or not, her decision has triggered an outpouring of support from around the world. Social media platforms lit up the moment the news dropped, with hashtags trending and fans sharing heartfelt messages of encouragement. It's travel. Independent, solo travel. Her very first time stepping outside of the U.S. without a partner, without the weight of family obligations, and without anyone else defining her agenda. Just her and the open road, something she never allowed herself to do during her years in the plural family structure. In her own words, it's a kind of freedom she never knew she needed. "I've always been someone who took care of others first," she said. "But I realized I was missing out on life. There were dreams I kept buried, experiences I kept postponing. This time, I didn't ask for permission. I just went. And go she did." With a passport in hand and only a carry-on suitcase, she boarded a plane and landed thousands of miles away from her comfort zone. For the first time in her life, she was navigating unfamiliar streets, tasting unfamiliar food, and hearing unfamiliar languages, all on her own terms. What's most remarkable about this journey is not the destination, but the transformation that's happened within her. Viewers who followed her since season 1 know just how much courage it took for her to reach this point. For years, she was portrayed as the peacemaker, the nurturer, the one who always went along to keep the family unit intact. But behind the scenes, she was slowly losing herself. That's no longer the case. The woman returning from this journey is stronger, more confident, and fully aware of her own value. The smile on her face isn't one of performance, it's the reflection of a woman who has finally chosen herself. Fans couldn't be prouder. In a world where reality TV often thrives on drama and dysfunction, her decision to prioritize personal growth over public validation is being hailed as inspiring. Many viewers have taken to social media to share how her bravery has motivated them to pursue their own firsts, whether that's starting therapy, applying for a passport, or simply taking time for themselves. And this isn't just a one-time thing. According to close sources, the Sister Wives star is already planning more trips. She's fallen in love with the thrill of discovering new places, of challenging her own limits, and of proving to herself that she's capable of far more than she was ever led to believe. What makes this all the more touching is that it's not a rebellion, it's a rebirth. There's no bitterness in her words, no regrets in her voice. She's not out to prove anyone wrong, she's simply choosing to live for herself. That, in itself, is revolutionary for someone who spent the better part of her adult life catering to a shared lifestyle that often left